Hi everyone, have you had a chance to check out my Spirulina Smoothie recipe today? If not, head over to Joe's Kitchen Capers and check it out. It's a meal in a glass and something I have every day. And if you checked out my introduction video, you'll know that I am trying to rebuild my body from the inside out and to repair it. So my video diary today is just going through the ingredients in my smoothie and letting you know why I'm putting in there. So as we're going through these ingredients, I'm really only going to touch on the power of some of these foods, because we could talk for hours on them and I want to keep this video short. So just before we start, if you have got any medical conditions or you are taking different medications, just before you add these ingredients into your diet, do check with your pharmacist or your doctor to check that that's okay. So let's just start with the star of the smoothie, which was of course the spirulina. What it is, it's a blue-green algae. It's actually a microorganism and it's a water plant. So spirulina has the highest protein of any matter on the planet, of any plant matter on the planet, and it's very high in iron. So to give you some idea of how powerful it is, 1 gram of spirulina is equal in nutrition to 100 grams of spinach or of carrot. It's packed full of vitamins and minerals and has all the amino acids. So that's what I mean when I say it's a complete food. So one of the next ingredients that I put in my smoothie is collagen. Collagen is everywhere in our body basically. It's from our head to our toes. It's in our hair, our bones, our vertebrae, our organs, our muscles, our tissues, our cells, and particularly our skin. It's something that as we age it depletes. So really good for joint care, and it really, to explain what it does, I guess it's something that is like glue in the body and holds everything together, and I'm hoping to add a bit more glue to my body and help my vertebrae and the degeneration that I've got. The next ingredient I want to talk about is aloe vera. So aloe vera you may have seen in its plant form. It's used a lot these days. You may have used it on burns, or you might have used it in a sunburn gel. Now it's got fantastic healing properties, and if you've ever taken a branch or a stem off an aloe vera plant and gone back, it actually reseals and heals itself. So those properties in itself have got to be beneficial to us. It boosts your immune system. Now I've filleted the piece that you've seen in the video, so I've taken the green outer off and I've just used that gel content. Our next ingredient is hemp seeds. Now hemp are also a complete protein, similar to the spirulina. Very high in omega-3 and 6. Packed with vitamins and minerals and essential aminos. So what this means is it helps aid recovery from injury. It's also good at lowering your cholesterol and lowering your blood pressure. Now with the hemp seeds as well, I use them in my baking and as well as putting in my smoothies and my protein balls. And that's what I want to say about all these ingredients that I've used in my spirulina smoothie. I haven't just bought these to solely put into that. I use them across the board in my cooking. So chia seeds is our next ingredient. Now once again high in omega-3 and 6. It's actually got more omega-3 in it than salmon has, so that'll give you some idea about it. Very good for joint health as well as brain and heart health, and very high in fiber. So you'll notice with chia that if you put it in a liquid it will start to swell, and as a benefit in something like a smoothie, that swelling, when you drink it, it'll actually make you stay full for longer. Now then we come to these little red berries, the goji berries. Goji berries have been used for centuries in Chinese medicine and Asian cuisine. They're a fantastic little berry that are antifungal, they're antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, jam-packed full of vitamin C and of amino acids. So now let's talk about camu powder. Now, it is 10 times more potent than vitamin C. To give you some perspective on this, it's got 60 times more vitamin C than you would get in a serving of an orange. So that is like an orange on steroids. Really potent and great to add to your smoothies. It's also really good for digestion, and it helps break down proteins in your body. So if you were eating things like animal proteins, beef, chicken, that sort of thing, it's going to aid in breaking that down. So it helps the nervous system as well as bone growth, and helps your body produce growth hormones. So that was of real interest to me. Then we've got Aloe Vera. Now, Aloe Vera is a protein really high in fibre. It's actually a really good liver cleanser. And Aloe Vera, if you are unsure, is linseed, sunflower and almonds. The other name for linseed is flaxseed. High in omegas again. So easy to make at home. Just make your own. You don't have to buy it. Then our next ingredient was banana. So banana, I really just add banana as a sweetener. I buy my bananas and then just free flow them and freeze them down in 3 or 4 pieces each, and then they're easy just to throw into my smoothie. It gives it a really nice creamy texture, and as I said, adds a bit of flavour to it. Then I add my berries. So the berries that I put in the spirulina yesterday were blueberries and raspberries. Now they're, once again, really good antioxidants, full of flavonoids, and great for your nervous system, and at the end of the day they're just delicious. So add them for some flavour. Then couple of the last ingredients are avocados. Avocados are high in vitamin C, and they're also a good source of fat and fibre, full of antioxidants. And another thing, that we've had a shortage of avocados so far this year, so what I tend to do, if I come across them and they're reasonably priced, I'll buy a few and then cut them up, skin them, de-seed them and free flow them in the freezer. And then we've got our last ingredient, which is water. Now, I've only recently changed back to water. I was using coconut water. The reason I changed doing that, I've learnt some crazy stuff about coconuts lately. For a start, a lot of the commercial coconut waters you buy are laden with sugars, so please check that out. I even learnt that they water some of the coconut trees with sugar water to boost the sugar content and things. So as you know, water itself, really hydrating. Every cell in our body needs water, and one of the things you can use as your liquid in your smoothie. Wow. So there are my ingredients that I've put in my spirulina smoothie. I hope that's given you some understanding of the reason that I'm using them, and as I said, I use them across the board in my cooking, not just specifically in my smoothies. So if you liked our video today, please give us the big thumbs up, subscribe and like our channel, and if you've got any comments or questions that you'd like to ask me about some of the stuff I've talked about today, leave me a message in the comment box below and I'll get back to you. So have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week on Joe's Kitchen Capers. Bye!